Today, it's tough for us to give anything our full attention, especially if it's a 2-hour movie. But things were different in 2007. Back then, YouTube was only 2 years old, Facebook was 4, and there were no videos on the platform yet. Instagram and TikTok didn't even exist. Despite this, our average attention span was 8.25 seconds, which is pretty close to today's 8 seconds. Paul Greengrass, the director of The Bourne Ultimatum, understood this challenge. He worked with editor Christopher Rouse to create a film that had 32 cuts in the first minute, with an average shot length of just 2 seconds throughout the movie. This was a clever way to play with our short attention spans, as Greengrass used only a quarter of our average attention span to tell Jason Bourne's story. He wanted us to feel the film rather than overthink it.
Because if you think too hard, you're not instinctive.
Paul Greengrass forced us to let go. Let's see how exactly he did it. Imagine your brain is like a movie theater, and each part of it has a favorite type of film. You sit down with a giant tub of popcorn, ready for the show. First up, we have the visual areas, the part of your brain that's all about the eye candy. These guys are like that one friend who only cares about the special effects and explosions. They don't need a plot or a coherent story. As long as things look cool, they're happy. Flashy colors, fast cars, and explosions keep these parts entertained. Next, we move to the middle row where the LO, PPA, FFA, and STS regions are seated. These brain areas are like your slightly more sophisticated friends who enjoy a good mix of visuals and some storyline. They're the ones who notice if the scenes connect and if the characters make sense. They like movies that aren't just random scenes thrown together. They need a little plot, like knowing why the hero is chasing the villain, or why the dog can suddenly talk.
Doug doesn't love me.
Let's simplify it. Think of the LO as your brain's detective. It loves figuring out what objects are by looking at their shapes and forms. In The Bourne Ultimatum, when Bourne is running through different places, your LO is busy recognizing buildings, cars, and other objects. The PPA is like your brain's GPS. It helps you recognize and remember places. When Bourne is darting through different locations, your PPA is mapping out these environments, making sure you know where the action is happening. The FFA is your brain's face expert. It's the part that recognizes faces, whether it's your best friend or an actor in a movie. When Bourne spots a familiar face, your FFA lights up, helping you remember who that character is. The STS is your social superpower. It helps you understand actions, gestures, and social cues. When characters in the movie are interacting, your STS is figuring out what their actions and expressions mean. Finally, we have the front row VIPs, the LS, TPJ, and F regions. These brain parts are like the film critics of your mind. They need the whole shebang, an engaging story, character development, and maybe a plot twist or two. They're the ones who sit through long, complex films, thinking about what the characters are planning, why they're doing what they're doing, and predicting the dramatic finale. They need the movie to make sense from beginning to end, and they'll be the ones talking about the deeper meaning of the film long after it's over. See, here we are talking about The Bourne Ultimatum after 17 years, and many will speak in the future as well. Because while we watched the film, all of these brain regions buzzed in sync. It's like our whole brain theater clapped in unison, deeply engrossed and reacting the same way, because Paul Greengrass knew how to keep everyone on the edge of their seats.